Welcome back. You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown's first ever expedition to the Emmys. Our first ever series celebrating TV's biggest night by doing what we do best. Bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Who's hungry?
Food, 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 food.
Gentlemen, please.
Food, 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 food. What the? Ow!
Gentlemen, you'd better be glad that Double D is not a soup Nazi. Otherwise, you would have gotten far worse punishment than just Pavlovian discipline. By the way, if you're under 30 years old, you might be asking, who the heck is a soup Nazi? If that's the case, you can definitely relate to staffers at Food Network magazine. They had a difficult time trying to figure out who Seinfeld was. That was until Seinfeld superfan Erica Fittermore on staff at FNM came up with a quiz in honor of the show's 30th anniversary, which you can find on page 32 of this July and August 2019 issue of Food Network magazine, which I picked up for 99 cents. Because while many Seinfeld fans are in unanimous agreement that it is the original show about nothing, some could argue that it is essentially a show about food, mostly name-brand confectionery, one of the strongest supporting characters in the aspect of food. This is a Seinfeld quiz that is 3 pages long, pages 32, 33, 34, that tests your food IQ. Seinfeld, the 1993 Emmy winner for Outstanding Comedy Series, the only win in that category, and consequently the only win for Jerry Seinfeld in his entire career. No joke. Is 30 years old this month. See if you can remember the show's biggest food moments. And if you don't, well, Larry Charles.
Nothing for you.
This is a quiz that consists of 23 questions, most of them multiple choice, the final 5 being true or false questions right here. Plus we have a score sheet here. You get 1 point for each correct answer, and if you get the maximum of 32 points, or a minimum of 21 points, well then, you are a maestro. If you score 11 to 20, you're average. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And 0 to 10, well then just get out! Now, I highly suggest that if it's your first time taking the quiz, you need to cover up that score sheet. Because if you do cheat, well then, no soup for you! I can't say it as good as Larry Charles does, but then again, he's rolling in bank because of that one quote right there. I'm not. But hey, there's nothing not worth giving the old college try, especially when it comes to food. While many Seinfeld fans are in unanimous agreement that it is the original show about nothing, some could argue that it is essentially a show about food. Again, namely main brand confectionery. But that quiz which you just saw really highlights both savory and sweet treats, and is a definite feature that you will devour if you're a Seinfeld fan. And because my favorite line from the show, food-wise, is, no soup for you! Here is an obligatory soup recipe from Food Network magazine. They're low-calorie, chilled zucchini soup with chicken. It takes about 40 minutes to whip up in total, and it will serve 4. These are the ingredients. Unfortunately, it's the only soup recipe you'll find in this issue. So, other than the Seinfeld quiz, not a lot of substance for you big Seinfeld stans. Food Network magazine could have done a lot better, but hey, that quiz was enough to satiate your appetite, right? Well, quickly I want to highlight All in the Family. Giada honors her late grandfather, movie-making legend Dino De Laurentiis, by shooting an episode in one of his favorite places, Capri. On the menu for this special edition of Giada in Italy, raviola alla caprese, acqua pazza, that is a rustic seafood dish, and coffee granata. There's much more in this issue of Food Net magazine that reads the eye, so let me quick highlight the features on the cover. Easy summer cooking, 113 recipes anyone can make, including the cover star, the strawberry lemonade pie. A new way to grill chicken, create your own salsa, the best spice for everything. The spice is right. And of course, recipes from the stars, including Michael Simon's chorizo burger as part of an expansive 4th of July menu. It's a rather substantial edition of Food Network magazine, that you will devour from top to bottom. Even if you're not a Seinfeld fan, and I'm sort of a semi-Seinfeld fan. My mother, big time. Often on Saturday mornings, she reheats leftover soup that she makes the night before or a couple of nights prior and has it for breakfast while laughing along with the studio audience while watching Seinfeld reruns on TBS. Like so many other people. Yes, leftover savory soup for breakfast. She usually also makes fresh, from scratch, stracciatella soup. That's egg drop soup, and it's Italian. My mother's Puerto Rican American. So, be that as it may, we need some more soup recipes. Now, I'm not saying you should only eat soup while watching Seinfeld, but come on, there's a reason why the show has a soup Nazi. What's next? A Ku Klux Klan of sandwich nerds? We need some more soup recipes. And with this, well, one soup recipe's not gonna cut it, so pretty much no soup for us. Oh, wait a second. Do you hear that? It's Robin to the rescue!
Hi, I'm Robin Miller, and welcome to Robin Takes 5. I am so excited to share some of my favorite recipes with you. You know, I'm a busy mom, just like many of you, but at the end of a long, crazy day, I still want to have a delicious feast with my family, and I found a way to get there with 5 ingredients or less. And as a nutritionist, I found a way to get there with 500 calories or less, too. You know, I want to get gourmet flavors to the plate, and I can do it with 5 ingredients or less, 500 calories or less, and in about 20 minutes. So come on and join me. Can you believe that you can enjoy soup after a long, hard day and have it on the table in about 20 minutes or less? The trick is to choose the right ingredients that can get you there faster. Some of my favorites when I'm making soup: canned beans, canned tomatoes, and rich broths, beef, vegetable, and chicken broth. They streamline the soup making process, and you can get a delicious warm soup to the table in 20 minutes or less. So you can enjoy these wonderful flavors on a busy weeknight. And a little note about herbs. When you have dried herbs and fresh herbs and you want to use them in your soups, remember this: add the dried herbs first and the fresh herbs last, and you'll get that depth of flavor that you really only can get from a long simmered soup. I have 2 really great examples of my fabulous soups to talk to you about. I've got my cucumber peach gazpacho. The 5 ingredients: cucumbers, peaches, vegetable broth, red onion, and mint. It's fresh and light. I also love my chunky tomato soup with sweet corn and crispy shallots. The 5 ingredients are canned tomatoes, roasted garlic, sweet corn, chicken broth, and shallots. It's just so wonderful, warms you from within, and I can't wait for you to try them.
Those are the soups that Robin mentioned in that video. Again, the yellow gazpacho with fresh basil and the chunky tomato soup with sweet corn and crispy shallots. We also have a broccoli soup with ginger and cream. And there's more where that came from. How about a cucumber peach gazpacho and a caramelized onion soup with melted Swiss croutons? Basically her quick fix take on French onion soup. We also have beet soup with balsamic and honey, her quick fix take on books. Sesame miso soup with tofu and scallions. And Santa Fe soup with black beans, corn, and cilantro. If you're not into the soup staying well, she also has stews and chilies and much, much more. Lots of love in a bowl. Like seafood stew and saffron broth also. This is just one of 4 photo sets I'm going to be showing you in a quick highlight reel for this book, which I got off of Amazon. It's also one of 2 Robin Takes 5 books that I bought, the other being, bargain bolo alert, the Robin Takes 5 cookbook for busy families. The one thing that this cookbook has over that sequel is that this has not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 full-color photo insets with a brief rundown of almost all the recipes featured in here. 500 recipes, 5 ingredients or less, 5 nights a week, 500 calories at 5 p.m. Sounds like a lofty, unattainable, impossible goal, right? Not that much. Yes, sometimes people tend to take certain liberties in the 5 ingredient promise, like former Food Network colleague Claire Robinson, who I definitely have a thing for. I mean, her show is 5 ingredient fits, but a cookbook is not all that 5 ingredients. However, Robin's is. By the way, Claire's recipes are delicious, so there's no problem in the quality of the food, but the quantity of the ingredients, well, that is definitely quite a misnomer. With Robin, out of the way, she mentions that salt, pepper, and olive oil, and essentially cooking spray, well, they're freebies, and they don't count as main ingredients. So, good on you, Robin, for issuing that disclaimer up front. This also is going to have a heavy reliance on high-quality, prepared convenience foods like marinara sauce, pesto, prepared stuffed pasta, things of that nature. So definitely check the ingredient list behind the labels in prepared foods. You should see all natural ingredients, real ingredients that you can pronounce immediately, real ingredients that even a 5-year-old can pronounce. No artificial preservatives, no chemicals, none of that nonsense on the back. Just real ingredients and a real promise for good, wholesome, nutritious, and, according to Robin, much, much more than delicious meals that you can whip up in about 20 minutes or less, which are not just limited to soup, stews, and chowders and chilies and all that. No, 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 no. We're talking pizzas, flatbreads, calzones and strudels, pasta, risotto and rice, chicken and turkey, beef and pork, seafood and shellfish, side dishes, and of course desserts, with metric conversions of equivalents at the end to round up the book. It's a pretty solid book. However, Robin, I have to take issue with one thing. In the introduction to this book, you say that people stop you in the store and of course on the street and thank you for making their mealtime more peaceful and, more importantly, more scrumptious. I'm sure you say so right back in those chats encounters and of course on social media. But however, you don't do it in the acknowledgement of this book or the other books that I have reviewed by you. And that's not fair. Around here, that is a penalizable offense. However, the photo insets, 4 out of 5, more to make up for it, and the quality of the recipes and your ingenious mind surely make me forgive any faults of this. I just wish there was one more photo inset in here so you can have a total of 5, and that would be more than fitting for a cookbook of this quality. By the way, you ought to pay attention to some of the symbols in here. Like, for example, if you see this symbol right here, those are recipes that are so amazing, as he says, they're suitable for entertaining. So look for that little symbol right here. Let's get it up to the light. You know what? Let's just zoom in so you can get a better look at that symbol. I really need to get a better camera. That one right there. The wine glasses clinking. The champagne flutes. And how about, this symbol right here. That is a low sodium symbol. 500 milligrams or less, according to the main dishes. 250 milligrams or less regarding side dishes and desserts. For the record, there are over 380 main dishes in here. Meaning that there are enough entrees to create a different meal each night for 7 nights per week. For an entire year without having the same meal twice. By the way, some leftovers can be carried over into the next meal because her quick fix approach relies heavily on leftovers to create an entirely different new meal, as well as stuff that you can freeze throughout the week and just thaw out whenever the dinner bell rings. That's the quick fix approach. That makes Robin Miller the quick fix queen in my opinion. And you know what? She comes the closest I've ever seen any Food Network chef come close to a 5-ingredient promise. A promise that's kept. So for Food Network Magazine Easy Summer Cooking with the addition of Giada and Dino De Laurentiis, I give it 5 out of 5 claps. Robin takes 5. Again, 500 recipes, 5 ingredients or less, 500 calories or less because she is a nutritionist, 5 nights a week at 5 p.m. 5 claps? I don't think so. failure to acknowledge the audience, the fans, is not allowed here at TSR and will be punished. But the following sets and the ingeniousness in the recipes, and of course, Robin being a natural when it comes to patting herself on the back, it more than makes up for it. Plus, I have to mention Robin is an absolute sweetheart on social media, at least according to me and many of her other fans. I gotta give her 4.5 out of 5 claps. I hope she doesn't take too much of an issue with me regarding my rules at TSR about people like her and her status and her position acknowledging the fans or not acknowledging the fans. That is an important component for any cookbook, any book from a celeb that I judge here at TSR. Nevertheless, all of this to honor a show about nothing that was truly something. Thanks for watching. Stay golden. And of course, I'll catch you on the flip side. And Robin, all my love.